All right, as James Holmes prepares to be officially charged today, his defense attorney is looking at a very tall order, I guess you could say. I'm joined this morning by criminal defense attorney Randy Reep. And I guess, Randy, you know, in our criminal justice system, you are innocent until proven guilty, but from everything and all the evidence and, you know, the appearance in court, it seems as if he's guilty. I don't know how you get like an impartial jury pool to even to go ahead. So what are we looking at right now? What are we expecting today and moving forward?
I really don't think you're probably looking at a trial case here. We talk a lot about jury impartiality with the things that are going on in Florida. I just don't see that the track it's going to go down here in Colorado. Based on, I think you and I have spoken a little bit about insanity before. I don't think an insanity defense is going to be available to him based on how he basically teed everything up.
Why do you say that? Because, I mean, he looked dazed and confused in court. A lot of people may look at that. The skeptics in all of us will look at it and go, he's playing a game right now. This is well thought out. Even you go through his apartment. Right. That's booby trap. I mean, how do you even defend the guy?
Well, on the insanity issue, there's kind of a recipe that the defense has to prove. It's an affirmative defense, so the burden shifts to the defense to show he has a mental infirmity. I don't think there's any question about that. But with that mental infirmity, did he not know the consequences of what he was doing, or he knew shooting you would kill you, but he didn't know killing you would be wrong? The problem why the defense, I think, will not have that available to him is exactly what you said, the booby trapping of the house, some of the documentation that's been left. He knew what he was doing, he knew the consequences of it, and since he booby-trapped it for law enforcement, he knew it was wrong. That defense probably isn't going to be available to him.
Well, his family obviously is looking at, I mean, that's their son, of course, so they have a different take on things. Do you get the best criminal defense attorney, or do you just take the public defender and go that route?
That's a great question. I mean, candidly, many public defenders are the best position to do this because they do it on a regular basis, relatively speaking. I mean, we have some heavy hitters that do that kind of work in the private sector as well. And I would, if it was my child, I'd be looking at the best attorney I could possibly get. But make no mistake, he's got some high-profile defense attorneys out. There's some research done on them. They've got some experience with this. Ultimately, I think what those attorneys are doing are trying to save his life, keep him out of being executed, as opposed to being found guilty or not guilty.
I'm trying to think of anything similar in the past. When I look at this, I think back to Timothy McVeigh, and that was kind of a fast track, and he was put to death not long after he was found guilty. Is this a similar type of situation?
Probably not. And my research in Colorado is they've had one execution in 40 years, although they've prosecuted many death penalty cases. And here's what it's going to come down to, and it's probably what our nation's going to come to eventually, is the death penalty is extraordinarily expensive. While it's a very vindictive feel to it, they've had one execution. They've had plenty of people get put on their death row, but it's a multi-million-dollar process to get them there and keep them there. And if you're doing 1 in 40 years, is that good return on investment? At some point, the taxpayers are going to make that decision. What's very interesting is it won't be Prosecutor Chambers' decision. They're term limited in Colorado. She's leaving office in January.
Really?
Awkward time to have the transition, and it's going to be an economic decision that the state is going to have to make at many levels.
Well, interesting. We'll continue to follow this. All right, Randy Reep, defense attorney, thank you so much for coming in and sharing some of your thoughts.